Hello and welcome. Congratulations, you're working at UCSB, and that's fantastic. Like many faculty, you might find yourself inserting this photo of the campus into some of your conference presentations, especially when you're presenting virtually anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere in, say, February. For a lot of us, this is the first way we think about the campus, an amazing piece of property that sticks out into the Pacific Ocean. But you start to realize as you're here, the campus is more than this unified piece of land. There are a whole lot of structures here, and sometimes they're pretty opaque. For many new faculty, this realization hits first when they encounter the overwhelming number of acronyms circulating on the campus. But have no fear. This video can be a first step in navigating institutional terrain. It's a whirlwind tour of UCSB's institutional structure, a little bit about how decisions are made in shared governance, how you can learn more about students, the distressed student protocol, and more information and contacts. My name is Linda Adler-Kassner, pictured here, and I'm here to provide this version of UCSB that I hope will help you understand our institution and its structures. I work with a number of other people in the Office of Teaching and Learning who are also here for you. Let's start with UCSB's administrative structure. Here's a very simplified org chart that includes the units within the university you'll probably deal with most often as a faculty member. From a faculty perspective, the unit you'll deal with most often is Academic Affairs, which falls under the purview of Executive Vice Chancellor or VC Provost David Marshall. The other units you might deal with include parts of the Office of Research, which falls under the purview of Vice Chancellor Rachel Siegelman, and the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and its Vice Chancellor Jeffrey Stewart. Student Affairs is the unit that coordinates most student-facing services under the auspices of their Vice Chancellor, Interim Vice Chancellor Mike Miller. And there are other areas under Vice Chancellors as well. Because much of faculty life is spent in academic affairs, it's worth focusing there. First, it's useful to think about, within academic affairs, how is UC built? UCSB has one very large college, the College of Letters and Science. It enrolls about 19,000 graduates. It has the College of Engineering, which enrolls about 12,000 undergraduates, and about 400 undergraduates in the College of Creative Studies. Letters and Science, Engineering also have graduate students, as you can see on this slide. In the College of Letters and Science, there are about 1,200 graduate students, and in engineering, about 800 graduate students. The College of Creative Studies does not have graduate students. There are also two schools at UCSB in academic affairs, the Bren School and the Gewurz Graduate School of Education. They only enroll graduate students for degrees, about 250 each, but the GGSE also offers undergraduate courses in two of the university's most popular undergraduate minors, Applied Psychology and Education. Graduate Division, which is located within Academic Affairs, coordinates graduate admissions and financial packages, leads discussions about graduate education, and more. There are also units within Academic Affairs that affect faculty work and work across academic units. Those are in the upper right. They include two technology units, Information Technology Services and Academic Affairs Instruction and Technology, and then, of course, offices that deal directly with the work of teaching, learning, faculty merit and promotion, funding, and students. These units are Academic Personnel, Graduate Division, the Office of Teaching and Learning, and the Library. So you've now heard a little bit about some of the structures at UCSB. Next, we're going to shift to the concept of shared governance at UCSB and within the UC system more broadly. The University of California is very devoted to shared governance, and it follows the principles of shared governance consistently. This means that the Academic Senate and the administration share the responsibility for governing the campus. Associated students and Graduate Student Association, the bodies for students, undergraduate students, and graduate students also come into play here. But in terms of Senate and administrative responsibilities, we're going to focus there. The Senate is responsible for policies on curriculum and instruction, degrees and admission, and academic standards. The administration is responsible for ensuring equitable application of Senate policy, for budget and finance, for personnel and labor relations, facilities and capital projects, strategic planning, and legal policy. The Senate and administration work hand in hand on these issues. It's important to remember, too, that UCSB is part of a 10-campus system. The structures and processes that we have here at UCSB mirror our sister campuses. You can learn more about structures and regulations from the sites outlined on this slide. Next, I'll talk a little bit about how you can learn about UCSB's students. There are many ways to do this, starting with institutional data. UCSB's Institutional Research, or IR office, has a great deal of information about our incoming students. Generally speaking, all of our students are represented in demographic profiles that you can find on the IR website. About 1/3 of our students are the first in their families to attend a four-year university. About 1/3 identify as minoritized. Always 1/3 of our students are transfer students. That's because UCs are guided by the California Master Plan. This document, created in the 1960s, serves as a structure for higher education in California. Among its provisions, now instantiated into policy, is that UCs must maintain a 2-to-1 ratio of incoming first-year to transfer students. When they come, students take different types of courses. At the undergraduate level, it's useful to remember that in the United States, higher education is generally designed for access. The assumption is that there's a post-secondary institution for all students. This is quite different than the assumptions underscoring post-secondary education in some other countries. University of California campuses are designated as highly selective, and under the California Master Plan, generally accepts students in the top 12.5% of their high school classes. Once here, all students take general education classes because U.S. colleges and universities always provide a broad foundation of liberal arts learning for their students. Then, students focus more as they move into lower and upper division classes in their majors. Transfer students generally fulfill general education requirements in their community college, and of course, graduate students come into their departments ready for focused study. You also can learn more about the students in your classes through the Office of Teaching and Learning and different kinds of data available to you. The most accessible kind of data comes from Data Enhanced Teaching and Learning, or DTAIL. These are dashboards with demographic characteristics of students in your course in the current quarter, along with asset-based strategies for teaching. You can also request a course equity report from the Office of Teaching and Learning. This will provide a variety of disaggregated student data, outcomes from past course offerings, and different kinds of visualizations, along with guided text and reflective questions. Finally, the Division of Student Affairs, and their URL is listed on this slide, has an enormous amount of information related to students. On this slide, I've listed the names of students, of people you can talk to if you have questions about teaching, learning, or students. This all occurs in the Office of Teaching and Learning and the Center for Innovative Teaching, Research, and Learning, or CITRAL, which is within OTL. Any of the folks listed on this slide are happy to talk to you about any issues that come up in your teaching, your learning, in your class, or about students. Another really important and really useful resource for you is the UCSB Distressed Students Response Protocol. You'll receive this at new faculty orientation, but you can also find it online just by doing a Google search for UCSB Distressed Students Response Protocol. So it's a very helpful and important resource for you as you teach. So we hope that you get to know us in the Office of Teaching and Learning, and that you get to know UC Santa Barbara. We're always here for you and always happy to talk to you. Thanks for listening.